Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into a case file today that, honestly, reads like an absolute nightmare. But the crazy thing is, it's documented with chilling precision. We're going to unpack a sequence of events that starts with a simple phone call and spirals into something completely inexplicable. We are looking at The Last Voicemail, Part 1. Okay, let's dive into this right now, because the details of this timeline are absolutely fascinating and, frankly, pretty terrifying.
Picture this scenario for a second. You're dead asleep, right? It's the middle of the night, and suddenly that silence is completely shattered. At exactly 2:13 a.m., your phone vibrates on the nightstand. In our case file today, this is exactly what happens to Detective Ethan Carter. He ignores it at first, as I think most of us would, but 5 seconds later, it rings again. He reaches for it in the dark, half asleep, and pulls it toward his face.
And guys, this is where his blood runs absolutely cold. The caller ID flashes, Emily Carter. Emily is his younger sister. But here is the absolutely critical piece of information that makes Ethan's heart stop. Emily died exactly 1 year ago. He's staring at the screen, literally convinced he's trapped in a bad dream. But the phone just keeps ringing. Finally, he answers. At first, nothing. Just silence. Only the sound of this really faint breathing on the other end of the line. Ethan whispers her name. And then, he hears it. A frightened female voice, her voice, whispering, "Don't let him find me." The line instantly fills with this loud, aggressive static, and then disconnects. Ethan is completely paralyzed. He replays the voicemail, and that same terrified whisper echoes out. So the crucial point we have to ask ourselves is this. How does a dead person make a phone call, especially when we consider where her phone actually is?
That brings us to Section 1, the physical proof, inside the evidence locker.
By sunrise, Ethan is speeding through a hammering rainstorm straight to the downtown Chicago police headquarters. He makes a beeline for the evidence locker. Officer Mason, who's on duty, is totally confused, specifically noting that no one has checked her belongings out. They unlock the storage cabinet together. Everything is exactly where it has been for a year. Her backpack, her wallet, a broken wristwatch, and, sitting right there in the dust, her phone. Ethan picks the device up, and we're faced with this clinical, physical reality that completely contradicts the digital reality of his voicemail. The battery is completely dead. There is no SIM card inside it. It has absolutely no charge. There is no physical, logical, or technological way this specific device could have connected to a cellular network to make a call at 2:13 a.m.
But, Ethan needs to be absolutely sure. Back in his office, he compares the incoming number from his phone's call log with the official evidence report number. It is a perfect digit-for-digit match. This proves something really terrifying. Someone has somehow manipulated the system using a dead phone locked inside a highly secure police facility. Or, perhaps even worse, someone went to great lengths to make Ethan believe they did.
And it's not just Ethan getting paranoid either. When Captain Olivia Brooks, who is a seasoned veteran of the force, walks in and listens to the voicemail herself, she's visibly shaken. She just says, "I don't like this." When a hardened police captain is rattled by a piece of evidence, it completely validates the pure terror of the situation. They definitely aren't dealing with a simple prank here. Moving on to Section 2, the victim's history, a closed case revisited. So Ethan actually reopens Emily's old murder file. Officially, ruled a hit and run by a drunk driver? Case closed. But mapping out the events leading up to her death shows exactly why something always bothered Ethan about it. Emily was a journalist, and for weeks prior to her death, she was deeply involved in investigating massive city corruption. Then, on day 0, she suddenly dies in this seemingly random hit and run. But look at day 2. The drunk driver responsible for the crash completely disappears. There was no trial, no confession, nothing. Everyone called it bad luck, but looking at it now, this timeline just screams that it was a targeted assassination.
Which leads us to Section 3, the digital clues, the hidden video file.
Ethan pulls out Emily's laptop, which was recovered from evidence months earlier. Obviously, it's heavily password protected. He starts with the basics. He tries their birthday. Wrong. He tries their mom's birthday. Wrong again. Then he thinks about who Emily really was as a journalist. He remembers her personal mantra, something she said whenever she finished a difficult, dangerous story. He types in, "Truth always wins." And just like that, the system unlocks.
The sheer volume of data he finds is just overwhelming.
We're talking hundreds of documents, photos, dangerous interview recordings, shady bank statements, and heavily encrypted folders. But out of all of this, Ethan's eyes are drawn directly to one specific directory. It's a folder with a chillingly simple name, If Anything Happens to Me. Just think about the mindset you have to be in to create a folder with that title. She knew they were coming for her.
Ethan slowly clicks into the folder. And inside, there isn't some massive document dump or a written manifesto. There is only one single video file. And the timestamp is what makes the hair on Ethan's arms stand up. The video was recorded exactly 2 days before Emily's supposedly random hit-and-run accident. He presses play.
Emily appears on the screen. She's inside her apartment, and she looks, well, absolutely terrified. She swallows hard, looks directly into the camera lens, and delivers a confirmed message from beyond the grave. If you're watching this, I'm probably dead. Hearing a victim predict their own murder with such chilling clarity completely validates every single suspicion Ethan has harbored for the last 365 days.
And then she drops the bombshell. She says, I found something much bigger than corruption. Boom. This completely unravels that original hit-and-run narrative. Whatever she was investigating, it wasn't just city officials taking a few bribes. It was something so massive, so dangerous, that it warranted erasing her entirely and making it look like a tragic accident.
But before she can even explain what that massive discovery actually is, her eyes dart away from the camera and toward her apartment door. In the background of the video footage, there's a sound. Someone is at her door. 3 slow knocks.
Emily looks back at the camera. Her face is just pale, and her voice drops to this frantic whisper. She says her final words. They found me. And then the video cuts out. There's no explanation of who they are. No names given. There's only sheer darkness on the screen.
And guys, here is where this case file leaves us, with a moment of terrifying synchronicity. At the exact second, the video ends in darkness on Ethan's laptop. A sound echoes in his own physical space. Someone knocks on Ethan's office door. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks. The exact same rhythm. The exact same pause between strikes that he just heard on the video from a year ago.
Ethan slowly looks up. It isn't Captain Brooks. It's not Officer Mason. Whoever is standing on the other side of that office door at this very second already knows exactly what Ethan just watched. They know he unlocked the laptop, which leaves us with one massive lingering question to close out this explainer. Who is at the door? We're going to have to dive right back into the evidence locker to find out in the next file. Thanks so much for joining me for this analysis, and stay curious.